I never thought I'd end up in a battle with my own WA, but here we are. The street in front of my house wasn't built by the WA. It wasn't part of their so-called community upgrades. It was mine. I had personally invested in paving it years ago, and the local county records even had my name down as the legal maintainer of that road. It connected directly to my property, and I kept it in better shape than the pothole-filled paths the WA neglected. But one day, I woke up to see shiny new, private WA property signs posted along my street. Apparently, the WA board decided my road was theirs now. No notice, no vote, no permission. They didn't even bother talking to me. At first, I thought it was a mistake, but when I confronted them, they smugly told me, all roads in this neighborhood are under WA management now. You'll need to follow our parking rules like everyone else. That's when I realized it wasn't a mistake. They had stolen my road. So, I let them play their little power game for about 2 weeks. And in those 2 weeks, I quietly worked on something of my own. You see, since the road was still legally mine, I had the right to set access rules. So, I contacted the county and had a tow-away agreement approved. It allowed me to remove any vehicle from my property, without warning. The next WA meeting was my moment. I parked across the street, watched as dozens of cars lined my road like it was their personal lot, and then made a single phone call. Within an hour, tow trucks started rolling in. One after another, every car disappeared. Board members, residents, even the WA president's brand new SUV. By the end of the day, the entire street was empty. People came out screaming, demanding answers. That's when I stepped out and calmly handed them copies of the property deed and the towing agreement. This road doesn't belong to you, I told them. And until you remove your signs and stop pretending it does, every car that touches this asphalt will vanish. The WA tried to fight back, but the law was on my side. After thousands in towing fees and a flood of angry homeowners, the board backed off. The signs were removed within days. Now, the road is quiet again. And the WA, they don't so much as glance at it anymore. Sometimes, the best way to deal with power-hungry people is to remind them just how powerless they really are. The WA thought the nightmare ended when their cars vanished. They were wrong. A week later, I noticed something strange. Someone had spray-painted WA rules across my mailbox in bright red. A clear message. They weren't done with me. Fine, I wasn't done either. I upgraded the entire road, installed motion-activated cameras, floodlights, and a retractable steel barrier at the entrance. The barrier was legally allowed since the road was mine. If a car wasn't authorized, the barrier stayed down. It was basically a fortress with asphalt. The very next WA board meeting, they tried to hold their usual gathering at a member's house, only for half of them to realize they couldn't even drive to it. The barrier had automatically denied their access. Imagine their faces, standing there, furious, waving their hands at a machine they had no control over. Of course, they tried calling the police, but the officer showed up, checked the records, and turned to them with a shrug. Sorry, folks. Road's not yours. Nothing I can do. That day, I felt invincible. But the WA president, a smug guy named Carl, still tried to push back. He sent me threatening letters, claiming I was disrupting community harmony, and that my road needed to serve the greater good. So, I sent him a letter back, with an invoice. $200 per car, per month, for parking on my private property. If they wanted to keep pretending my road was theirs, fine, they could pay for it. Within 2 months, Carl cracked. Between the towing fees, lawyer costs, and now my invoices stacking up, the WA was drowning. Angry residents started attending meetings not to complain about me, but about them. The board was collapsing from the inside, and then came the final blow. I offered the residents a deal. I'll open the road for everyone, completely free, under one condition: dissolve the WA. Guess what happened? The vote wasn't even close. The HOA that once tried to steal my road was gone. Every board member resigned, Carl moved out, and for the first time in years, the neighborhood felt free. Now, whenever I walk down my road, I smile. Not because I won, but because I proved something. You can take my time, you can waste my patience, but you don't touch my property without paying the price.